FanDuel games, parlays, player props, or futures, BetRivers offers you the best odds, boosts, and special promotions. Plus, if you're new to BetRivers, sign up before the game kicks off because they're actually offering new users a first deposit match bonus of up to $250. And all you gotta do is use the code 250match when you go and sign up. So
at the next light, turn left.
Via the BetRivers app or at BetRivers.com. Detroit's hometown sportsbook. Bet with a winner. Visit BetRivers.com for full terms
At the
and
light,
conditions.
use the left 2 lanes to turn onto
Playable
East Grand River Avenue.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Turn left.
If you're looking for a place to call home,
In 1 mile, take a slight right turn to merge onto I-96 East.
So provide pre-screened quality tenants to our property owners. We love to match good people to good homes. Contact us today, northbloomfield.com.
is there any sense of overconfidence from the kids that we got this thing, it's over?
I think there is. I actually addressed that the day prior as far as, there's a little more of a talking about, we did this, or this is what we could do, we could win the World Series. I said, guys, listen, I've said this many, many times before, baseball's a funny game. Any team can beat any team on any given day. We can't go in there overconfident. We gotta treat Ohio like they're Hawaii. And that's the mindset that we try to get these kids to understand going into this. And as a show, Ohio wanted to win that game. They did everything they could to go out and try to win that game, and they showed a lot of heart. But our kids had the fire inside, and they were ready to go. And it's a couple bunches there, but they just like to do it.
You got iffy in the last inning. How close were you to making the pitching change? Because when Newland hit two guys, walked another, and then one for put in the run. Did you think hard about making a change?
Not really, to be honest with you. Gavin's been a bulldog for us all year, and he hasn't hit too many batters throughout the year. And I know that the moment was big there, and Gavin was made for that moment, But as I was going out there to talk to him, and he was meeting me halfway. I'm like, go back up there. go back up there. I'm supposed to come out here, He just wanted, in that moment, cameras or mics or whatever it is, he just wanted to make sure that he got to me to tell me that he wanted to finish that. And I already knew that's what he was going to say. He's one of those, he's Verlander per se in that spot where it's like, yeah, don't take me out of this game. Don't take me out of this game. I'm not coming out,
How strange was it to be mic'd up? That everything you said, you knew that was going to be broadcast over across the nation.
You get used to it. How can I say this? You forget it's there. You do. You truly do forget it's there. To a point, I do very good with trying not to cuss or anything like that. Not that I do that in these dugouts anyway. But even when me and Coach Guido are talking on the side, we're always, with my job, I'm used to, at times having cameras on me anyway, so I know how to do it. So I just kind of point, like, if he's going to say something to me, because I don't know what he's going to say, or same thing that if I get ready to come up to him and he just kind of points at the mic, and kind of remind each other, you know what I'm saying? So you get used to it being there, and then you forget it's there, and you just kind of go with the flow, and hopefully you don't, hopefully nothing, say anything that comes out, and you're like, shoot, I shouldn't have said that.
We're joined by Rick Thorning, the head coach manager of Taylor North Little League World Series champs. All right, taking the manager side away for a second and go to the dad's side.
Okay.
Your son Cameron had a unbelievable World Series, setting records, handled himself with grace most of the time, especially in the interviews. As a father, what did that whole scene make you feel like?
It was such an amazing experience being there, and then, like you said, as a father, that I get to go back to the dorm with him, and I get to talk with him, and never in one time did he seem overwhelmed by it. He's a 12-year-old kid, and once that game was over and he's back in the dorm, he was 12 years old, and he's really excited about, he had opened up an Instagram yesterday, because we're not really big, we don't really do social media too much, and Hunter Dickinson said, hey, get him an Instagram, let's get it going. So he went back and set that up, and he's just excited, man. He's excited to watch everything and to see it, just like everybody else is, all the other kids on the team. But he's excited to get back and to watch stuff, and there's so many of the younger little leaguers that we play with that think he's a superstar. So they're reaching out to us, and they're sending us messages, and they want him to sign a baseball, and they want him to do stuff. And it's amazing, that's my son. That's my son that people are calling and asking about. It's a great feeling to have as a father.
How did he become a Buckeye fan, though? We need to know this. John's very upset about that.
I know this is going to be coming up. And as soon as I said, great, we're playing Ohio. Like, we should be able to play somebody else. But
Well, at least you beat him. Beat Ohio.
yes, that is true. That is true. And honestly, it goes back to me many years ago when I was about 8 or 9. To me, the greatest game in the history of life
In 10
itself
miles, take
is
exit
Michigan versus Ohio
163
State
onto
football. No matter the
I-696
record, I mean, everybody knows that. I mean, that game is so important to everybody. And when I was about 8 or 9 years old, that and I started watching the games and getting into it, just the following year, I just got hooked on watching Ohio State, like, films and Ohio State stuff, and then I just started asking my mom for Ohio State stuff. And at first it was kind of cool being the guy, to argue with everybody about Ohio State, and we just got hooked on it. And my boys see that, at our home, they see me watching Ohio State stuff, and they just got hooked on it. And Cameron and Andrew, who both my boys, they like Ohio State. Now, I will say this, and I know a lot of people.
So are you a Buckeye too then?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Yeah, John wants to just punch your lights out now here.
Oh,
Rick.
Yes,
That
I know,
hurts.
guys. Listen. I know. Trust me. I was trying to hope this we could just bypass all of this, but I knew that we were going to have to answer. But I will say this: I know this isn't right. You're not allowed to say this. By no means do we not like Michigan. We love, Michigan. We love watching. We love Michigan doing good. We want to see everybody doing good. So, because like I said, there's nothing better than an 11-0 Michigan team playing 11-0 Buckeye team. I mean, that game is the best game ever. So we don't wish Michigan to do bad. I know that sounds silly. And
I'll
there's really no way
save
to
you.
explain that.
And I'll save you and change the subject
He rooted
because
against you, John. Just remember
that's
that.
okay. That's okay
I'm
because
sorry.
that's what makes college football great, makes sports great.
Yes.
But I want to ask you this: go back to yesterday, and just the moment you see the long fly ball to center field. I mean that happens so many times throughout the course of practice, throughout the course of a season, and you think it's an automatic out. We know it's not. It ended up being the last out of that game. You guys are World Series champs. What was it like for you to watch your kids celebrate?
Oh, it was one of the greatest games I think I've ever had. Playing sports and coaching.
At the
It was
light,
just
turn right onto
absolutely
Milford Road toward New
phenomenal
Hudson.
to see, and there was so much pressure. I don't want to say pressure. I'd say pressure. So much pressure off of myself and my coach Guido. You can see it in their eyes. You can see it in all the fans' eyes. And these kids, they celebrated. They were so happy, but you can see like the pressure's off, and we did it. And like we don't have to perform under this pressure anymore all week. And to see those kids celebrate was one of the greatest feelings that I've ever had. It was awesome.
Hey, Rick, I just want to go back to Saturday. One thing I noticed, first off, I'm going to say it because I don't think you can as the head coach, but your son won the game on Saturday. And I think that, to say that publicly, you may be a little shy saying that, but with that swing, because you guys struggled to hit against them, you hit 103 against Hawaii in 2 games. You needed that home run. He came through clutch, and he just jumped on it. And then he was out there pitching in the first inning, and he was jacked. I noticed you talked to him at the end of the first inning. Was it something about that? Or because he was fired up and emotional?
Yeah, I'll give him credit there, and I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, without a doubt, he was the spark there, and so when he came out, he doesn't really get too animated. Like, I don't like, so he doesn't mean it, but there's times where I don't like, if you're showing the umpire up. So there was a couple times in that first inning where he thought he was hitting the outside corner, and I'm sorry, he thought he was hitting it, but it was a little high, and it looked high to me, and he was kind of amped up.
He was.
And yeah, he was kind of jumping after the pitch, like give me that, I want that pitch. So I told him that you can't do that. I said you have to keep your composure, and you have to find out what that umpire strike zone is, and you have to work with that strike zone there. You might get that call that gets a different out.
You killed your mic, and I kind of just picked up on that. I think you were just saying, hey, calm down just a little bit out there.
Yeah, I'd like, just calm down and get too animated. I said, if you want that strike call, you later on in the game or the next inning, then you're going to have to, not respond that way.
All right, Rick, congratulations. Everybody around here was pulling for you. It was a great moment. We haven't won a lot around here lately, and you guys came through, and we all loved it. I mean, it was incredible. I know our friends of Taylor Chevrolet told me that I think there's a parade on Thursday, if that's correct. I believe 6 o'clock, so that'll be really cool. So enjoy all this, and we'll talk to you down the road. I'll be down there for one or two of the events, and I'll see you there.
Awesome. Hey, thank you guys for everything. We appreciate the support. We thank you guys.
All right. Have safe travels home.
Thanks, guys.
All right. That's Rick Thorning, the head coach of North Taylor Little League. Taylor North. Pretty damn cool.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Even though, hey, they're Buckeyes. That's hard to believe.
Hey. World Series.
Yes, that's all that counts. Hey, speaking of which, Taylor Chevrolet would like to congratulate the Taylor North Little League team for an amazing performance at the Little League World Series. As a major sponsor of the Taylor North team, Taylor Chevrolet couldn't be prouder of these players. The excitement this brings to the entire Taylor community and the example they have set for young athletes everywhere. Character, courage, loyalty, greatness on and off the field. America's favorite pastime is baseball. America's favorite brand, Chevrolet, Metro Detroit's favorite car dealer, Taylor Chevrolet. I have 3 cars I've gotten from them over the years. They're the best. Family owned, the Perkins family, part of the community, great values. Little League Baseball teaches life lessons that build stronger individuals and communities. Taylor Chevrolet is happy to be aligned with this mission. Taylor Chevrolet says yes to our community, yes to baseball fans everywhere, and yes to our Taylor North Little League team, world champions. Congratulations.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, taking a look at the drive this morning. No reports of accidents right now, but traffic is definitely building. I-96 heading eastbound approaching Novi Road, as well as through the work zone 275 northbound from Ford Road to M1496. New fall feelings can call for new fall flavors, like the new apple cranberry Dunkin' refreshers made with green tea or coconut milk. Pair your pick with an apple cider donut. Fall into flavorful at Dunkin'. America runs on Dunkin'. Apple cranberry flavored drinks, 0% fruit juice. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Exclusions apply. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Odyssey is your new home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today.
This is Andrew Bogish with an Odyssey Sports Minute sponsored by Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-899-GOLD to get your free investment guide. Fresh rumors over the weekend about a Deshaun Watson trade. The Dolphins and Panthers are reportedly showing the most interest right now. The Texans have to do something with Watson, with rosters dropping to 53 tomorrow. They could simply burn one of those 53 spots while he doesn't play. They could pay him to stay home. Watson could end up on the commissioner's exempt list, or Houston could trade him. But I still don't know how that would work. The Texans reportedly want 3 first-round picks and 2 seconds for him. You can't possibly pay that with Watson's legal future so uncertain. The only other option is the most complicated trade of conditional draft picks ever. The only place I think Watson is going is home until his court cases play out. I'm Andrew Bogish.
Slow is just right if you're on vacation. A sloth or describing QuickBooks, more like slow books. It sucks you in and slows you down with manual processes, integration difficulties, and glitchy delays that leave you scrambling for the numbers you need. Now is the time to make the switch to NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 financial system, because NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, e-commerce, and more. It's everything you need to grow all in one place. With NetSuite, you can automate your processes and close your books in no time, no matter how big your business grows. Failing to switch to NetSuite will leave you stuck trying to make sense of your books while your competitors sprint ahead. 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since switching to NetSuite. And right now, special financing is back. NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind financing program only for those ready to switch today. Head to netsuite.com/play right now. Get special financing at netsuite.com/play. netsuite.com/play.
Hey Michigan, it's Charlie Batch with great news. Now you can bet on all your favorite sports with the Play Gun Lake Online Sportsbook. Live in-game, play-by-play betting. Let you bet while you watch. Bet the money line as it changes during the game. Plus, bet on individual player performances as they happen. New customers, sign up right now and get your first bet risk-free up to $750. PlayGunLake.com and use my promo code TOUCHDOWN. PlayGunLake.com has all the details.
You must be 21 and in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
At DTE, we're committed to using our energy to serve and transform communities, helping to create a brighter future for us all through projects like building parks, partnering with schools, job training programs, and volunteering our time to those in need. Because at DTE, we believe we have a responsibility to serve our customers and our communities. Learn more at dteimpact.com. DTE. From cookouts in summer to the depths of winter, natural gas is your safe, reliable, affordable energy source. Because DTE buys gas in the summer when prices are low and stores it to keep prices affordable. And we upgrade and monitor the system 24/7, 365. So for all you do, natural gas is there for you. Learn more at dteenergy.com. DTE.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. While summer is a great time for recycling, some summer items should not be mixed in with your curbside recycling. Items like garden hoses, plastic planters, pool toys, squirt guns, and lawn chairs are generally not recyclable and are best donated to charity. If you have a question as to whether an item can be recycled, look for the recycling triangle and number, usually on the bottom of the product. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
It's August 2021. I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. You may or may not know that mortgage interest rates have hit a 5-month low. Call Hall Financial right now for your second chance to refinance. 248-308-5000 or go to callhallfirst.com.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. Text the ticket using the same number you used to call the ticket. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
In case you missed it, Breshad Perriman has been cut by the Lions as they try to trim down to 53. Look, wide receiver is not a very strong position to begin with, and when you spend $2 million on a guy, a legacy player with the Lions, Brett Perriman's son, you expected a little more, expected a lot more. He dropped passes, so he's one of the guys that Dan Campbell probably was referring to last week when he said some of these guys everybody thinks is locks may not make the team, and he is one of them. Hey, with football season almost here, get ready with the ultimate season preview 2021, the NFL edition, brought to you by Odyssey and the Locked On Podcast Network. Go in depth with dedicated shows for each division, insight from insiders provided by Odyssey, team by team updates heading into the season. Each show features an NFL insider, former player Ross Tucker. He's really, really good. And, of course, former Detroit Free Press writer, now CBS Sports, of course, Jason La Canfora. Get perspective, but even would make Bill Belichick blush with the Ultimate Season Preview 2021 NFL Edition. Get local takes on each team from each conference throughout the league, plus get expert predictions on where each team will finish. It's all on Odyssey, your audio home for football. Speaking of prognostications heading into the season, the Lions are still, 4.5 I saw?
I think so, yeah. I don't think anybody is going to... No odds makers are going to change their predictions after what we saw in the preseason.
You'd lower them if you did anything, right?
But just...
If you would
do anything, because you just haven't seen... We won't know until they play San Francisco, quite honestly, because we didn't see the offense. We didn't even see the defense.
Right.
All we know going into the season is Jack Fox is really good.
Let me ask you a question, because when you played, it was different that more people played in preseason games back then. But how much was it as stuff that you did week one just completely different than what you guys played in preseason, that the other team was like, oh my God, we weren't prepared for this, and vice versa?
The scheme wasn't that much different. it was, I mean, there's only so many different ways you can run the ball off tackle. There is, different formations, different motions, all of those things. Yeah, that you get to it a different way, but when the ball is snapped, there's not a whole lot different that happens. It's more not necessarily trying to guard what you're doing so that opposing offenses or teams, defenses can see what you're doing. The preseason should be for a right tackle like I played, getting to know how my guard is going to play, act, how we're going to communicate in the game. Same from the center position, those 5 guys. And then from the tight end position, getting that communication down when you run combination blocks. And then in pass protection, how are you identifying things defensively? And, it's the same thing, if you're a defensive player, looking and communicating. And that's where I still think there's great value in playing in preseason games. It's not, to me, about the wins and losses. We mentioned Baltimore, 20 straight wins. I don't really care. Detroit going 0-3. I don't really care. Would it have been nice to get a win? Sure. But it's more about the individual performance. It's how the units work together. It's how the offense works together and how they're growing and being able to go out there and be ready to hit the ground running against San Francisco.
All right, coming up next, I smell something. Is it possible there could be another Big Ten team that makes it to Indiana before Michigan? 97 won the ticket.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Taylor North becomes the first Little League team from Michigan to win the Little League World Series since 1959. They winning yesterday 5-2 over Hamilton, Ohio, behind 4 RBIs from Jackson Serman. The pitching of Ethan Van Bell. He struck out 8 in 4 innings. Tigers lost 2-3 to Toronto over the weekend, including yesterday's 2-1 defeat. Matt Boyd making his first start since mid-June, giving up 2 runs, both of them home runs in 4 innings. Right-hander Jason Foley sent to Toledo after the game. Tigers and Twins today, a makeup game of Comerica Park. 2:10 the first pitch right here on 97-1 The Ticket. Casey Mize going for Detroit, 7-6 with a 3.55 ERA. The Detroit Lions have until Tuesday at 4 p.m. to get down to the roster limit of 53. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, the Lions have already released wide receiver Rashad Perryman. They open up the regular season a week from Sunday at Ford Field against San Francisco. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more 97-1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. The telephone number 248-539-9797. We're at Oakland Hills, where the Ilitch Golf Outing will take place. We're going to have Al Vila with us, Jeff Blashill with us, and maybe a surprise guest. Who knows? You never know. Our telephone number 248-539-9797. John in the car. You're on 97.1 The Ticket. What's up, John?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
I was wondering if it would be a good idea to move Penny Sewell back to left tackle and swap him with Taylor, going to right. And John, I know you played the position. What do you think?
Well, you're still going to have somebody playing out of position. And right now, with Penny Sewell being only 20 years old, I think it's going to be an easier transition for him to make that change. Plus, he's a better all-around athlete, I believe, that Taylor Decker is. So I would much rather have Taylor Decker, who is secure at that position, has played well, stay there, and not create another problem by putting a rookie over there and moving Taylor Decker to right tackle.
Okay, I just didn't know if it was a big, that much of a difference going from left to right. And,
it's one that can be overcome, but it is a transition. And John, we're also talking about Penny Sewell, who is only 20 years old, and he's going to be going up against guys that have been in the league for 6, 7, 8, 9, more than a decade, and they're more developed physically, they're more developed mentally, and they just have that experience where he is learning that while learning a new position at the professional level.
And the whole season is going to be a bunch of growing pains for a lot of people. This is a developmental year for players and coaches as well, and that's why the bar is low, and that's why I'm not gonna, unless they consistently blow games with bonehead coaching decisions. I'm trying to vow not to get upset watching the Lions this year because they don't have a really good roster. It's just
here's the mindset that I have going into this football season. It's Jared Goff. What are we going to have, and how do we evaluate him? When you look at this offensive line, is it going to develop? I believe it will. We're going to be better as an offensive line in week 10 than we are in week 1. But it's more important to find out what we have. We have 2 first-round picks starting next year in the draft. We have other draft picks. There's going to be the ability. Salary cap is going up. They're going to be in a better position to spend some money in free agency. What is it exactly that the Lions have that they can use moving forward? That's what you have to determine throughout the course of the next, 18 weeks, 17 games.
I mentioned, as we like to call the biz, a little tease, heading into this segment, that I smelled the possibility, or some people claim this, that there could be a new team that makes it to Indianapolis for a Big Ten title game before Michigan. And I'm not willing to even go there yet, but I know John, if you're one of those, are people who go on the, the Bielema train. I mean, God, they beat Nebraska, and all of a sudden, got to watch out for Illinois. They're Illinois. And I know you can say the same thing, Stoney, you always, you like Indiana so much. They're Indiana. I think there's unless he's able to, and no coach seems to have been able to recruit the Chicago area very well.
Yeah.
I don't see it now. Is there a chance they can get hot, because they're in the West and get there because the West is not as strong as the East?
Yeah, you don't have to play Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Indiana on a yearly basis. I think it is easier to accelerate a program coming out of the Big Ten West. But I'm not necessarily sure that everybody is saying, well, now it's Brett Bielema against Jim Harbaugh, and it's a race towards the Big Ten championship. I think we're talking about 2 separate things.
No, I know. I was just thinking, I don't think it's not, Illinois or Michigan, because they're in 2 different,
I think when
divisions.
Brett Bielema came back to Illinois, I was excited because I do think that he can win at Illinois. I think he understands what it takes to win on that side of the Big Ten. He did it at Wisconsin. Now, I know he inherited a program that wasn't devoid of talent, much like he has at Illinois. And I don't want to say it's devoid of talent, but not as much talent as he got at Wisconsin. But in 7 years at Wisconsin, he had 3 Big Ten championships. The game has changed a little bit in the Big Ten, but I believe he is a guy that understands how to recruit the Big Ten, especially on that side of the division, how to recruit in the Midwest. He has time and time again has developed offensive linemen that are now playing on Sundays when he was at Wisconsin. So I do think that Illinois is in a good position. Are they going to, run through the Big Ten this year and all of a sudden be the Cinderella story? No, that's not where they're at. But what I saw was a team that I think if Lovie Smith is that coach last year of this team, I'm not sure that they win that game. He did a great job of going into the transfer portal, getting Sitkowski, who was a guy that Rutgers didn't need anymore, didn't want anymore, and finding a way to stay in the game, continue to compete when they lost their starting quarterback in Brandon Peters.
Gee, Brandon Peters getting hurt. Boy, that's nothing new.
No, it's nothing new. I thought maybe you were going to put him on your app if he comes back.
No. No. Well, you know what? If he came back and had a great season, he might, because he was basically Harbaugh's first quarterback recruit, so to speak, right?
Yeah. What is a 4-star guy out of Avon, Indiana?
Yeah, exactly.
I think Illinois is a lot like Indiana when it comes to what they offer. The facilities are behind what other programs have. That's why I question.
Well, they've got new facilities now. They just unveiled them 2 years ago.
Right, but
new weight room, new field. New
is it still as good as Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio State, even Michigan State? It's like
Iowa.
Long term, why is a kid going to choose to go there versus those schools? Well, if he gets playing time, sure, but then you're talking about lower star players. I mean, I think the only way he could do something sustainable is to somehow steal Wisconsin's program. He knows DNA of it. So that's
Well, yeah, and so when he was at Wisconsin, how many 4 and 5 star linemen did they recruit at Wisconsin? Not many, but they always put those guys out in the NFL. If I'm a high school player in today's game, and this was the same back when I was coming out, you want to know, can I go and have an opportunity to develop into an NFL player? Brett Bielema has been able to do that with running backs and with offensive linemen, and you could even say, up front defensively as well, and linebackers. So if I'm a kid coming out and I'm looking at all of these different opportunities and I say, well, I can go to Illinois, I can play as a freshman, I can play for Brett Bielema, he's going to continue to develop me, and I'll have a shot at the NFL, that will be enticing to a lot of kids.
Do you want to play for a guy who sweats like that?
His hygiene makes no difference.
I know. Because
he's a big dude, and it was hot.
Yeah, I know. He was asked if he was celebrating. He goes, no, I was sweating.
Yes.
But the one advantage that he does have, although geographically it's not as close as you think, because Madison to Chicago is almost just as close, if not closer, right, than Champaign-Urbana to Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but he, it is the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
So he does have the Chicago, high schools to recruit from. But right now, Illinois is not getting those guys.
They're not.
I mean, when you're leading rusher, is Mike Epstein?
Well, they're not getting those guys because, and Lovie Smith is, I think, a really good coach, but he didn't have the energy that you have to have in today's recruiting environment to go out there and recruit 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all year long. And that's part of why they weren't drawing those kids out of Chicago. They thought when he went to Illinois that all of a sudden, because of his time with the Bears, they were instantly going to draw those kids. That's not what's attracting those kids. You've got to be on social media. You've got to be texting them. You've got to be doing this all the time. And Lovie Smith wasn't that type of recruiter.
You still have, I don't know, Wisconsin obviously still, in my opinion, most people's, obviously the cream of the crop of the West.
In the West, yep. Iowa.
Year in and year out, Iowa's usually right there. Northwestern has been pretty good. They've certainly been better than Illinois. Illinois is not that good. Well, Nebraska, obviously, they're a major struggle. How surprising is this that Frost has not been able to do anything?
I don't think it's surprising to me at all.
Really?
No, because it's a program that obviously under Osborne for better than 3 decades, they had tremendous success. And then with Bo Pelini, they had great success. Yeah. And since then, they have fallen
They had good
off.
success with Frank Solich. It's their own fault, those idiots over there.
Well, it is their own fault, but once you drop down because of the environment that college football is right now in making the college football playoffs, winning championships, when you haven't done it, you're not going to get the 5-star guys that are going to Ohio State, that are going to Alabama, that are going to Clemson, and you're recruiting in Lincoln, Nebraska. I mean, what 5-star kid out of California says, I'm going to leave and pass up USC, I'm not going to go up to Oregon, but I'm going to go to Lincoln, Nebraska?
But why did they do it in the past?
Because they were winning.
But they were winning national championships, but they were still a winning program when the boosters, whoever, made the short-sighted decision of making a coaching change. And when you got a guy like Scott Frost, who we don't like him personally, his personality, but let's be honest, he did a pretty good job as an offensive coordinator in Oregon. He did a really good job at UCF, and you thought that at least the offensively it would translate, and it just hasn't.
Well, it hasn't, but he hasn't had the horses. You're at Oregon, right? That, with all of the money and with Nike and all that stuff and the success they've had, that's why he was successful there. Now, I'm not saying he's not a good coach. He is a good coach. I like his system. But then you're down at UCF, and you're surrounded in the state of Florida by great talent. They didn't in Nebraska, you're going to get, maybe 2 or 3 kids out of that state that are the cream of the crop.
Right.
And so it just doesn't translate in today's recruiting. He's going to have to change how he recruits and who he gets.
By the way, the app doesn't go off for this, but did you see who scored a touchdown for Nebraska on Saturday?
No. Well, was it Oliver Martin?
Oliver Martin has scored touchdowns for 3 different Big Ten schools.
Yes, Iowa, Michigan, and now Nebraska.
Nebraska.
Yes.
That is freaking wild. Heather has news coming up next.
I do. I have a wild story about a man from Georgia who was about to spend decades behind bars after he tried to pull off this really crazy stunt just to win his ex-wife back.
Boy, he must love her. If you're going to be in Vegas between now and the start of football season, you need to be part of the largest football contest that guarantees $10 million to the winners. There is $10 million on the line between their contests. Circa Millions has $4 million in guarantees, including $1 million in quarterly payouts. All you need to do is pick one different team to win straight up each week, and the money could go to one winner or shopped by anyone going 20-0. That's right. Circa Survivor it is. Best part, no rate. Each entry is $1,000 to go to circusports.com. For more info, that's circusports.com. You need to enter while in Vegas and then can play from anywhere. Or if you just want to get away, relax, and something, you have a good time, get to the D Las Vegas for everything you need. The D is taking all the necessary precautions to make sure your stay is safe and you can enjoy all the comforts of a high-end Las Vegas hotel without missing out on all the high gaming energy and nightlife you want. Book your next Vegas vacation at thed.com. Your home for Detroit sports in Las Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by Penske Logistics. Around Ann Arbor, there's a crash affecting the left side of 94 eastbound at M14. And in Troy, there's also an incident 75 northbound exit ramp to Big Beaver. Penske Logistics has part and full-time openings in Chesterfield and Romulus. Earn a $1,500 bonus plus other premium benefits when you hire in at full-time. Daily open houses between 1 and 3 p.m. at both warehouses. Visit or search Penske.jobs. Penske is an equal opportunity employer. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
A station where your opinion matters. Hear that? No? Good. That's the sound of an electric engine accelerating on a highway. A vehicle driven hands-free with the power of available Blue Cruise technology.
3/4 of a mile.
Hear that? That's the sound of our engineers at work, taking every Ford vehicle and America into the future. And that's the sound of our restoration work at Michigan Central Station, where mobility innovators from around the world will test and launch transportation solutions right here in Detroit. Hear that? That's the sound of a family going wherever they want to go, with Ford technology to help them get there. Sounds pretty nice to us. Built for America. Built Ford proud.
Driver assist features are supplemental and do not replace the driver's attention, judgment, and need to control the vehicle. Blue Cruise is a hands-free highway driving feature. Only remove hands from the steering wheel when in a hands-free blue zone. Always watch the road. Be prepared to resume control of the vehicle. It does not replace safe driving. See owner's manual for detail and limitations. Assembled in the USA with domestic and foreign parts.
FanDuel Sportsbook is hooking up new users with an enhanced 30-1 odds for the first big college football game of the season. That's right. Pick either Georgia or Clemson to win, and you can turn a $5 bet into a $150 payday. Sign up and make your first deposit to kick off the college football season on America's #1 sportsbook. There's no better place to bet college football than FanDuel Sportsbook with great promotions like this one. It's the #1 rated sportsbook app. It's easy to use and there's fast payouts. So make the most of college football this week with the enhanced 30-1 odds. Georgia or Clemson, your choice. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using the promo code Doug so they know that we sent you. That's promo code Doug. Must be 21 or older and present in Michigan. New users only. Must wager in designated offer market. $10 first deposit required. $150 maximum bonus. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 97.1 The Ticket.
Join the District Detroit on Select Fridays this summer and fall for the Art Walk series presented by Pepsi, curated by Nanamdi Center. Returning September 10th from 5 till 9 p.m. on Columbia Street. Guests can enjoy artwork by local artists, live music, food, and signature drinks. Learn more at districtdetroit.com.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up? We can help you get started. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Castrol GTX and an STP oil filter, plus an STP air filter or cabin air filter for just $34.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
In half a mile. The destination is on your left.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm a broken traffic light. Stop and go is the name of my game. It's easy. You go, they go. What was it? They go, you go. And if you have the wrong cars,
insurance, these repair costs could stop you in your tracks. So get Allstate's new low auto rate and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Not available in every state. Based on coverage and limits selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Creamy nut butter makes it delightfully sweet. Roasted nuts make it perfectly salty. Get two great tastes in one delicious bar. Enjoy a Nature Valley sweet and salty nut bar today.
Do you have an opinion? Of course you do. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. To D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.